Let's turn from history to today's paper money, the euro.
Okay.
You know, it circulates because of...
I think the introduce the euro was the same reason behind like introducing the Chinese paper money. So governments in Europe has made budget deficits since the 60s, the 70s. Year after year, deficit, deficit, deficit. Can you imagine when somebody has a company and makes 40-year deficit? Goes to his bank, this year I need more money. And maybe 2 or 3 times in 40 years they're coming, this year is very good year, we do not make new deficit. But never talking about paying back,
yeah.
Of course. So we have crossed the point of no return. It is not possible to pay this back. And not only the states made deficits, the countries in a state, the communities. In Germany, every second community is bankrupt.
Yes.
In Austria too. So there will be no solution for this. Only when it starts with deflationary pressure, then the inflation will be higher, because then they have to print much more money to save all. Yes.
Well, we've had euro inflation now 3%, which is above the target. And the ECB last week lowered interest rates instead of raising interest rates to fight inflation. So that's a clear indication that we're going to see more inflation in the months ahead.
But nobody believes 3% inflation. I tell you why. I live here in Austria. When I come to Germany, 10 years ago, I had to pay for my hotel the same price in Denmark than I now pay in euro. When I go eating, I pay now the same price in euro than it was in Denmark. So this is in 10 years, everybody can tell you the price now is the same high in euro than it was in Denmark, but it is 1 to 2 almost. So
yes.
In 10 years, prices have doubled. Though, how can somebody believe 1, 2 or 3% official inflation rate? They're telling us when prices in 10 years double for most goods. This everybody can tell you that this is true. So this is even in America's inflation. You know shadow statistics.
Yes.
Of course.
Yeah.
Then you see official inflation rate in the USA is maybe 3% or something like this, but with same.
That's the official rate, but the unofficial rate is much higher.
11.
Yeah, there's a U.S. economist by the name of John Williams. He
John
runs,
Williams.
Yeah, shadowstats.com is his website.
That's
and
11.
he uses the same inflation formula
as in the 80s.
When President Carter was still in the White House in 1980.
Yes.
And
so this is
that's where you get
correct,
the 11% inflation rate
when
today.
The government do not have to fail this status. They just change. The rules of life have changed. People are not eating this, are not buying this. They're buying all things which get cheaper. With this trick, you can show every inflation rate you want to show.
Yeah, but the quality of life or the standard of living is actually declining because inflation is actually worse than than the government says it is. Wages are not keeping up with the true rate of inflation, so people have to cut back. They have to spend less, or maybe both the husband and the wife work to try to maintain the same standard of living. I know that's very true in the States. Is that true here in Europe too?
Of course, the same.
Yeah.
The same here.
So let's talk about how this is going to unfold. How is it going to change in the future, or will it change, or what outcome?
Okay,
clearly you're bullish on gold and silver.
Okay, I'm bullish on gold and silver, but I do believe that the stadium we are now is a very, very late stadium, because it is like cancer of the money. What you see is the last stadium of cancer.
Yes.
When banks go bankrupt, when even countries go bankrupt, when every day or every week you hear of new horror things about debt situation. Though this is a stadium I cannot believe can overlive some more years.
Yeah.
Maybe until end of next year, I see. But after that, so I see monetary reform maybe until 2013. So I do believe the next months will be very troublesome.
Will governments try to impose capital controls to try to keep the broken system working?
Of course, they will do a lot of things. And I'm afraid they will also prevent people buying precious metals because they do not want that people
to exit the euro and go into sound money.
Yes, so this is this can be a problem.
Yeah.
But there is no other solution. Only gold and silver can save us.
Will governments recognize that gold and silver are the only solution, or are they going to continue going down the wrong road?
No, I do think they know everything. They know everything. When they have monetary reform, they planned it years ago. So what now looks like accident is, in my eyes, planned since years.
Yeah. So it's going to be more of the same until within a year or so we're going to see more serious problems, mainly because of the sovereign debt crisis, or will there be other factors like bank problems?
Okay, bank problems are reason of debt crisis. You understand? So debt crisis is the reason for steadily problems, the reason for bank problems. It is only the debts which are making these problems. And the debts cannot be paid back regularly. So
what should individuals do besides owning gold and silver? Any other suggestions?
Any other suggestions? Okay.
What about in the stock market? Or, mining stocks?
I do not believe. Maybe if we become hyperinflation for a longer time, stock markets will not be so bad. But I remember in the 70s, we're talking about the 70s, I remember, gold rose 20 times, from $42 till $850. And you know what Dow Jones made in this time? Just from 1,000 to 650, moving for 15 years. Understand? In January 1965, Dow Jones reached 1,000. And then come back to 750, till 550, then went to 1,000 again, but never could cross over 1,000. And it is the same Morgan Stanley World Index is also like this. DAX since the year of 2000, 8,000, 2,000, 8,000, 3,500, not even 8,000 now going back. So during this time, stock markets are not so good. But gold mines can be better than stocks, regular stocks. So in this case, gold and silver stocks, mining stocks, I like in this situation. But one must be very carefully, because with gold and silver stocks, you should at least have half a dozen different because of risk.
Well, Johann, it was a real pleasure speaking with you today. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with, there are going to be thousands of viewers of this video around the world. It's very much appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you. It was so nice meeting you.